Paul I, in Russian Pavel Petrovich, was born in October 1754 and was assassinated in a coup d'etat in March 1801 at the age of just 46. His short rule lasted from November 1796 to March 1801. He remained overshadowed by his mother for much of his short-end life. He adopted the laws of succession to the Russian throne, rules that lasted until the end of the Romanov dynasty and of the Russian Empire. In other words, that the oldest surviving son would succeed the emperor, and the daughters only could succeed if there were no surviving sons. He was a notably emotional person and easily got angry, which was probably one of the reasons why he became so unpopular. Paul's first act as emperor was to inquire about and, if possible, destroy his late mother's testament or will, as he feared it would exclude him from succession and leave the throne to Alexander. The army then poised to attack Persia in accordance with Catherine's last design was recalled to St. Petersburg within 1 month of Paul's succession. He was idealistic and capable of great generosity. However, he easily lost his temper and wanted to punish people who, in his opinion, were wicked or had wronged him. He, contrary to his father, did not favor the Russian aristocrats, viewing them as decadent and corrupt, and was determined to transform them into a disciplined, principled, loyal caste resembling a medieval chivalric order. 7 field marshals and 333 generals were either dismissed or lost their places at the imperial court. For this, Paul is sometimes regarded as a sympathizer with the Polish people due to his deep respect for them. However, he did not restore or even attempt to restore the independence of even Eastern and Central Poland. At great expense, he built 3 palaces in or around the Russian capital. In foreign policy, he opposed many of the expansionary wars that his mother had fought and instead preferred to pursue a more peaceful diplomatic path. He offered to mediate between Austria and France through Prussia and pushed Austria to make peace, but the two countries made peace without his help, signing the Treaty of Campo Formio in October 1797. He was greatly offended when General Napoleon Bonaparte seized Malta in June 1798. In spite of Russia's failure to honor the terms of the Treaty of Georgievsk, Qajar Iran reinvaded Georgia and captured and sacked Tbilisi. Georgian rulers felt they had nowhere else to turn now, as Georgia was again re-subjugated by Iran. In January 1801, Paul I signed a decree on the incorporation of Georgia, or Kartli, Kakheti, within the Russian Empire. His premonitions of assassination were well founded. His attempts to force the Russian aristocrats to adopt a code of chivalry alienated many of his trusted advisors. He also discovered outrageous machinations and corruption in the Russian treasury. Although he repealed Catherine's law allowing corporal or bodily punishment of the free classes, directing reforms that resulted in greater rights for the peasantry, and providing for better treatment for serfs on agricultural estates, most of his policies were viewed as a great annoyance to the aristocratic class and induced his enemies to work out a plan of action. Counts Peter Ludwig von der Pahlen Nikita Petrovich Panin and Admiral Ribas organized a conspiracy. However, Ribas's death delayed the execution. And on the night of March the 23rd, 1801, he was murdered in his bedroom in the newly built St. Michael's Castle by a band of dismissed officers headed by General Bennigsen, a Hanoverian or Northern German in the Russian service, and General Yashvili, a Georgian. They tried to compel the hapless emperor to sign his abdication. He resisted, and then Nikolai Zubov struck him with a sword, after which the assassins strangled and trampled him to death. His son, the 23-year-old Alexander I, who was actually in the palace, and to whom General Nikolai Zubov, one of the assassins, announced his accession, succeeded him. The assassins were not punished by Alexander. The court physician, James Wiley, covered up the assassination by claiming that Paul I had died of apoplexy.